She comes across like diamonds, diamonds, easy in love when the lights are low. She comes into focus, focus, the closer she gets, the more I know. She takes more whiskey than I wine,
I am about to open up my third whiskey of the evening. Now I spaced quite a bit of time between the first and second one. The second one I just finished not too long ago. Now it's the third. The first one was a Scapa called Glansa, which is 40% alcohol by volume, no age statement, finished in peated ex-bourbon barrels. Interesting, but not worth the money. The second one was the Open 14, which I came back to after leaving it oxidized for 5 months. And it's a decent little dram, but I feel like I want more. I always do that. I start with a light whiskey or one that isn't very high in alcohol content, and I move towards the stronger ones. And then towards the end, I'm drinking Cask strength, and that's the end because I can't take any more after that. Now I have a Balvenie. I haven't had a Balvenie in a while, but this one here, if you see, it says Peated Triple Cask, 14 years old. And, there is a Balvenie Peat week. They make the peated whiskey for 1 week, where they actually get peated malt and they, make whiskey out of it. And that stuff is expensive. It's about 300 Canadian around here. Anyway, it's expensive. It's not cheap. But this one came in at a whopping $115.09 with all taxes included. So it's $99.99, 10-cent bottle deposit, provincial liquor tax, $10, goods and services tax, that's federal, for $5. So $15 in taxes, 10 cents in bottle deposit on top of $19.99. $115.09. I picked this up on the 24th of July, 2019. And yeah, when I saw this on the shelf, I said, yeah, let's give that a go. Because I really didn't feel like paying for the Peat Week. And it wasn't available at the time. The Peat Week is available now, I think. But it's it's prohibitively expensive, especially in these uncertain times right now when I don't know what's going to happen with anything. Balvenie Peated 14. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to pour a dram, and then I'm going to read what it says on the can and on the bottle. It's not really a can, it's more of a cardboard tube, but there we go. Get the foil off. This one was... is this going to be another good one? Yep. Composite cork. No, it's real. It's a real cork. Nice. And I love the shape of these Balvenie bottles with the flare at the top, making them so very easy to pour. Okay. And here is what the bottle looks like. Balvenie Peated 14 single malt Scotch Whisky. Okay. Now what does it say on here? Okay, it's got the nose and tasting notes and finish. Distilled at the Balvenie Peated Triple Cask. This whiskey has been aged exclusively in the 3 most traditional types of whiskey casks for 14 years. Our malt master carefully samples the aged whiskey cask by cask before marrying to the bottled as the Balvenie Peated triple cask. And David C. Stewart, the Balvenie Malt Master's signature is on there. 48.3% alcohol by volume, 70 CLs, that's 700 mils. So this one is looks like it was destined for the UK market. Well, no, it's just not destined for the US market because it's a 700 mil. Okay, what's it say here? Balvenie Distillery has been owned by the same independent family company for 5 generations. Nowhere else will you find a distillery that still grows its own barley, that still malts its own traditional floor malting, that still has coopers to tend to the casks and a coppersmith to tend the stills. From this distillery comes the Balvenie Peated triple cask, characterized by sweet smokiness and spice. This product is non-chill filtered and in extreme cold temperatures or on addition of water may develop a slight haze. Handcrafted to be enjoyed responsibly. That's what it says on the bottle. That's a Speyside, so that's going to go, some of this is going to go in the Speyside Infinity bottle. What's it say here? Okay, this top part we've seen already. Traditional crafts of malt whiskey making still flourish at the Balvenie Distillery, and the skills of our craftsmen are embodied perfectly by the Balvenie Peated triple cask. Reminiscent of a spirit not seen at the Balvenie in over 50 years, this whiskey was distilled from a more heavily peated barley, resulting in a rich, smoky, new make spirit. Aging in 3 different cask types allows our malt master to create a whiskey that maintains the Balvenie sweetness but is defined by delicate smokiness. Okay. And what is this fancy design here? Oh, it sort of has a explanation. Okay, peated triple cask single malt whiskey here. Level number 1 kiln, level number 2 dryer, level number 3 release, and then designed for distillery use for by Charles Doig. Oh, it's explaining the pagoda. Oh, and here are the kind of barrels that they use. Okay. Oloroso sherry butts impart deep, rich fruit and subtle spice. European oak casks that have held Oloroso sherry can go to mature fine Scotch whisky. The toasted wooden staves that form the cask impart further flavor and aroma to the whiskey resting within. They have figure 1, figure 2, and figure 3. Number 2, first fill bourbon barrels. Add subtle vanilla and sweetness. The spirit is placed in charred oak barrels previously used to age bourbon. During maturation, the whiskey gains natural color and flavor from caramelized sugar found in the wood. Figure number 3, whiskey casks. Traditional whiskey casks. Being consistent, delicate layers of honey. Traditional whiskey casks have already aged Scotch whisky and been emptied and treated by the Balvenie's on-site team of coopers. before being refilled with new Balvenie spirit. And here is an organic composition of peat. It explains peat right there. So on the top we have phenol, guaiacol, and non-phenolic peaty character smoky. Okay, there is a compositional difference between Highland peat and Isla peat. Although the difference found in the raw material may seem subtle or insignificant, the effect on flavor is profound. Our maltmen understand that subtle differences in the peat we use can result in a significant difference in the resulting spirit. Not only do the overall levels of phenols and guaiacols determine the levels of peaty aromas, but also the ratio of these compounds. Okay. I think I've read enough. We've gone on for a long time. Oh, that's a lot of information to swallow. But I give it to you straight from the can and from the bottle. So now that we've been going for over 10 minutes, let's have a look at this. 48.3%. And the cost, I did that already, right? $115.09 out the door, Canadian, back on the 24th of July. Whoop, bit enthusiastic. Bit enthusiastic of a anaconda there. The snake wants to get away. All right. Let's have a look at this. They're fairly slow to form. Big drops. Big drops. They slide down the glass relatively slowly. Yes. Oh, very nice. Oh. I'm definitely getting some dark fruits here. Not dried dark fruits, but fresher dark fruits. Getting things like plums, raisins. Yeah, okay, raisins. Grapes. And I'm also getting some of that citrus, that lime citrus that you get from, or that I get very often from peat smoke. So dark fruits and citrus, bit of orange too. It's feels a little hot on the nostrils right now. It's strong. But if you consider the ABV and all the care that went into this, now some vanilla notes in there too. Vanilla, toffee, butterscotch. Oh, this is a complex one. It's got a little of everything going for it. The orange and lime. The dark fruits that seem to have moved aside, the plums and the raisins and the oh, this is lovely. Butterscotch, caramel, vanillas. I think the three kinds of casks have really helped it, making it a beautiful whiskey. Did it say non-chill filtered and not colored? Yeah, non-chill filtered release, but it doesn't say anything about color or Farbstoff here. So it might have some color in it. but maybe not much. It looks a little orange. Smells great. I'm going to taste it now. Oh. I think they used a Highland peat. The Highland peat is more like chimney soot when compared to Isla peat, which is more medicinal and maritime. This is not very maritime. This is kind of sooty and ashen. But then you've got other things going on at the same time. You've got the Oloroso sherry casks going on at the same time. And 14 years. It doesn't say what proportion of the whiskey was aged in refill casks or bourbon barrels or Oloroso butts. It doesn't say. It just says what they are. Flavor, color, and flavor, and consistency. Oh, this is beautifully balanced. You get the fruity notes, and you get the peat smoke coming in with the fruity notes all together in one cohesive whoosh of flavor. It is very difficult, or I find it difficult, to pick the individual flavors apart. It was easier to get the individual scents on the nose, but this is just incredible. This is beautiful. It's almost like a Japanese whiskey in that all the flavors are together. They are hard to pick apart. This is really lovely. I think it said something here about the nose. Yeah, let's see. It's on the side of the bottle here. A malty sweetness on the nose. Okay. Gentle smoke in the background. Vanilla toffee gives way to cinnamon spiciness. A little. To taste. Smoke comes through, followed by syrupy sweetness. Fresh citrus. Creamy vanilla and honey, ending with cinnamon and ginger spice. The finish is delicate smoke with lingering and spicy sweetness. Yeah. Before the 1960s at the Balvenie distillery, we used much more peat to dry our malted barley than we do today. This spirit has been made from heavily peated barley and aged for 14 years in the three most traditional types of cask: first fill bourbon, refill bourbon, and sherry. The resulting whiskey is smoky sweet with a cinnamon spiciness. I don't know about the cinnamon spiciness. It's not that spicy. It's a little spicy. I find that the peat and the Oloroso are so very well married together that they come out as one flavor. Ginger? I don't know. But I do get vanilla and toffee, or should we say butterscotch caramel. Yeah. It's at 48 point something. I'm going to add a little bit of water to see if that brings out any more of those flavors that I seem to be missing. Although I get most of it, and it all comes together as a cohesive whole. So far, I like it. Let's try some water. Oh, that's quite a bit. All right. The water has taken away a lot from the nose. Peat is almost gone. Get some Oloroso. The nose was so much better before I added water. It's still there, but it's a lot weaker on the palate. Okay. I'm getting a lot of sweetness, and the finish is the finish is more cinnamon spicy. Yes, very much so. And the water takes away the peat, so it brought out the cinnamon spiciness for sure. Now on the nose again, I'm getting more of those dark fruits. Not dried though, fresh dark fruits. Plums, raisins, grapes a little bit. Oh, now the smoke. Now the peat is coming in. You have to dig a little to get the peat now that I've added water to it. Railway ties. I get railway ties and fruits. Some berries and some. Not getting any of the citrus so much now that I've added water. Got more citrus on the nose earlier. The citrus seems to be gone now that I added water. But it's still a very interesting and intriguing dram. I'm enjoying this so far. Slachava.
Foodquig.
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 Yeah.